Have you ever been told that you'll never get a job because of your personality? Tina and Kim had a listener reach out asking that one question. She had someone tell her that because she has this big, boisterous personality, that she will never get a job in the dental office. Well, my friends, on this episode of RDH Coast to Coast, Tina and Kim discuss the value of all different personality types and how there's a place for everyone in the dental world. So friends, grab your headphones and listen in as we discuss personalities. Feels like it's been a hot minute since we've been able to get together and record a little bit, right?
I agree. And it's just life is so busy and the days fly by and the minutes fly by and the next thing you know, it's almost April.
Yeah, the first half of the year is practically over.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
It is really, really crazy. And let's just jump right on in. And I had this request is actually from one of the many dental hygiene students that I come across in my life. Asked this question, and she says, Tina, I have a really big personality. And she had an instructor tell her that because she has a big personality, that nobody's going to hire her because she's just going to be too extra, way too much. And I was like, what? Because I don't agree with that statement. I think it takes all personality types. And Kim, I would say that I'm a kind of a loud, boisterous person. And I don't know. Tell me, what are your thoughts on how do you show up as a personality in the dental space?
I can go either way. So in new situations, I'm more quiet and reserved. I think
Yeah.
until I really get comfortable and get to know somebody. But I also feed off of my patient. So if my patient is more quiet, reserved, you can tell they really don't want to engage in the small talk. I'm not going to push it.
Yeah.
But I really feel there's a place for every personality, whether it's, bouncing off of your coworkers or it takes all kinds to get the office to go. But I don't think having a big personality is at any way looked at as negative.
Yeah, I would agree with that because as you said, there's all different types of patients and we kind of gauge ourselves based off of the patient, but even then there's all different types of personalities within the office. And if everybody's a quiet mouse, that may not work for a well-oiled functioning machine. Same thing if everybody is off the walls and it's a party every time you go in, that
Right.
is also going to be disruptive. So I think that I one of the things I say I think is that Dental Post has a really cool self-assessment programs. One of them is your DISC personality and your emotional intelligence, all those different kinds of things. But I think it's really important for an individual to go through and kind of get an idea of who they are. I'm the person where you walk in and every single doctor that I've worked with, they're like, oh, we know Tina's here because you could hear me laughing throughout the building, right? Just joking and laughing around. And they're like, wow, Tina, when you're not here, it's really quiet. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
It has never hindered you from getting a job, correct?
No, it has never hindered me from getting a job. Absolutely not. And, then there's also I have one coworker who sometimes we're like, oh, is she forgot you were here?
Yes.
Right. And she's doing well and absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, and that's just her personality type. And just back to the disc
Oh yeah, thank you.
personality,
I went scrolled.
I love those personality. I really think they're pretty accurate, and it just helps you get a bigger picture of you and your strengths. And if a whole team does them, then you kind of know how to bounce and work off of each other based on your strengths.
Yeah. Now, have you done the disc yet?
I have.
What did you show up? Do you remember?
I am a high DI.
Me too.
Are you
Exactly. My
really?
D and my I are equal.
Okay, I'm more D than I.
Oh, really? Yeah. That
Yeah.
is so funny. Now, what about your S and your C? How did those land for you?
I don't even remember.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to redo it and like really look at it closer again.
Yeah, well, the only reason why I remember is because I was just looking at it like just 2 days ago,
Oh,
that my D and my I were equal, and my S and then my C was really low.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So, and I think that's really important to know, is when you're going in and you're looking for a place to work, is to say, yeah, hey, I'm not going to be the person that's going to help cross the T's and dot the I's. That's not my strength and my skill set, but I can definitely bring in the energy and help get everybody up and going.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I think it's just you don't want to change your personality based on your atmosphere. I think it's finding a place that accepts you for who you are and you can be who you are and treat your patients the way you want. And that's really where you're going to shine.
Right. I agree. And I think it's really sad for somebody to say that your personality is not employable.
I kind of hope maybe they were joking in some weird, strange way.
Maybe.
Um, because I could never imagine saying that to somebody who is so excited to be launching their career and going through this rigorous program of dental hygiene school to then be faced with a comment like that. I don't even know how I would respond.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of, it would be not necessarily personality, but behavior, right?
Yeah.
Like if you are in and continually just swearing up a storm or something like
Oh,
that, I could see where people would be like, nah, this is a professional environment. We don't use
correct.
terms and language like that, right?
Correct. And it's having that conversation privately with that individual of, again, we're treating patients. This is a professional environment. You need to be, button it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Because you never know like what could end up happening. Those those operatories, the sound travels very easily, very, very easily.
Absolutely. And it like the way that the sound bounces off the walls, like you might be able to hear an operatory way down the hall better than you can the one next door. It's always fascinates me.
Speaking of hearing things, some like great gossips that you hear, right? When you hear maybe a patient and the assistant talking with each other, how many
Yes.
times are you like, all of a sudden you get like super quiet and you're like, what's going on? What's going
Yes,
on?
or I'll hear the conversation and then after I'm like, oh, so what was that about that you were talking to that patient? What were they saying? I heard all about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but so moral of the story is be who you are, own your personality, right?
Own your personality, be who you are, but remember that hold yourself to the utmost professional, standard. That's what's going to make a name for yourself is being professional, but having fun and bringing that energy to your office.
Right. Right. And I think that that's an important aspect to be aware of for yourself. And when you do go in for an interview, when they say, tell me about yourself, if you know that you have a big personality, say, I have a really big personality, you're going to hear me laughing. You're going to hear me, cajoling with the patients. Or you could say, I'm a really quiet, reserved. I like to keep to myself. You may even forget that I'm around because I'm so quiet. Like, I think it's important to share that because that helps the office know how you'll fit in with their team.
Exactly, exactly. And whether you're the louder employee or the quieter one, it has no effect on how well your patient care is and your bedside manner. You can be super quiet or super loud.
Bingo. Bingo. I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. And with that, my fellow big personality person, I enjoyed this little brief conversation. And I think I can speak for both of us when I say we really hope that it's been helpful for all of the different personality types that tune in to our podcast.
Absolutely. And everyone go do your disc profile and let us know what you are.
Yeah, for sure. All right, friends. Tina and Kim
Take
saying
care.
goodbye. Thank you to our sponsor, Dental Post, the nation's largest dental job board. Be sure to check them out for different types of employment resources. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. And make sure you follow Tina and Kim on all the different social medias to learn other tips and tricks related to dentistry. Until next time, have a great day.